Yo, yo, what is up, Whale family, and welcome to Blockchain Beats, where we explore the pioneering artists taking audio and music to the next level of emerging tech and interactivity with NFTs. Our guests today are Easy and Crypto and Kinshasa, founders of CIPHER, the audio NFT passion project that allows music enthusiasts to create and transact collectible hip hop in a self contained creator suite right on the blockchain. Gentlemen, way overdue, but welcome to the show. So glad to have you with us today.
Yeah. Oh man, thanks so much for having us. Really stoked to jam with y'all.
Yeah,
Ye-
stoked to be here. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, no, and just so everybody knows, I reached out to Easy very early, like in early March, and said, "Hey, let's go talk about this." But things got crazy, as we all know, in this space around that time. So here we are. But a lot of cool developments in the project since then. So it's actually worked out very well. You guys have built something that's making waves, and I'm excited to get you guys in here to chop it up and talk about it.
No doubt. Yeah, we've made some serious headway in the last 6 weeks and just pretty much have our beat maker dialed in. We've just squashing a couple bugs here and there, but we basically, like you said, are just creating this self-contained means of just like expressing yourself and just lowering barriers to entry for just having your voice heard and really repackaged in this revolutionary way of NFTs. I mean, I say it all the time. I feel like we're going from CDs to MP3s to NFTs. And it's this new way to kind of create bonds with, artists and fans. So just cool to be at the forefront of it with Web3, but then incorporating, some of the machine learning, like AI stuff into it. It's just a trip down the rabbit hole too. But yeah, we're having a blast with it. So yeah, we're so glad Easy joined the squad too. And I've just been building community in these weekly Cypher parties that we do and just having a blast, just cultivating that community there has been just like unreal, just wind to our backs, just you having all this talent come through and just some coming out of the woodwork, just spitting mad bars and just like having fun, finding a space together like that. It's just been really rad. So we're so stoked we're zeroed in on this thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely. Oh, go ahead, Easy.
I was just going to say it's a super exciting time to, be in this space and be able to use the tools that are now available to us to be able to, actually produce a product like this and be able to open the doors for hopefully so many people to be able to get their voices heard, have a lot of fun doing it and just get onto the blockchain and into this NFT kind of craze as we've been seeing in the last few months, sort of since the beginning of the year.
Yeah, definitely. But before we do go too far down the rabbit hole, just want to ground everyone. And I don't know if this is one of the sillier questions I've ever had to ask on this segment, but for anyone not familiar with you guys, which would be pretty impossible considering what you're dabbling in and all the things you touch, can we just give everyone a brief background on each of you, what you're about, where you come from, and what you've been doing in the space?
Absolutely. So I just come from over 10 years in marketing experience, mostly in like manufacturing of all places, but really followed tech, about 7 years ago, took a run at like a crowdsourcing startup with like peer-to-peer yard care and stuff like that. I found out marketplaces are very difficult to crack both sides of that equation, and so took a lot away from that experience though, and we were just really fortunate to come through the Outlier Ventures Accelerator on this beginning of the year, this fifth cohort of theirs. And it was just an unreal experience. So we're just on this platform now to be able to really have our sea legs in it and figure out how to navigate crypto, And so their connections and just, advice this whole time has been a trip. So it's been really fortunate to have them in our cadre. But yeah, so that's just a bit about me. I kind of, grew up all skate or die, freestyle with my crew and stuff back in the day, and those are some of like the funnest times of my life too, So I really am stoked that we're getting into this and it can just kind of, grow into, hopefully, a thriving, community and be able to, just blow the lid off this thing, man. I don't know, but yeah, Easy. Tell us about your background, man.
I know a good amount of the people here in the Whale Discord. I was there for the maiden voyage. I've been in the space for a few years, and the last couple years more into the NFT space. I kind of got my start over on Cent, as there's a handful of OGs kind of in the space that started up and formed some great relationships there. I actually did a little over a year ago, a little rap that I just had kind of spit into my phone, into the voice recorder in the car. And there were some good bars in there. So I was like, oh, I'll get a friend to help lay a beat down and make that. And that was sort of what sparked a really deep passion to want to be able to do like rap battles in places like crypto voxels. And so the tech just wasn't there at that point. And, I had talked to, different people in the space, Vandal at Dow Records and Kinshasa. And we'd kind of been, kind of chatting every once in a while, catching up like here and there. And when Kinshasa hit me up, a handful of months back and said, yo, we've got the CIPHER app. It's coming together. You want to get on the team? It was right away like, yes. So it's just like, it's working the dream. It's amazing to be able to, see the hours put in, just being in the community, jumping all around. I am involved with a handful of projects and different Discords and whatnot. But to be able to be here now doing this is like a dream come true.
Very cool. Kinshasa, you mentioned the incubator. Is this coming out of that? Was this the project?
Yeah. This is the flagship project. We came through Outlier actually as crowd founder, this startup studio incubating projects. We have quite a deep cache of ENS.ETH domain names, a whale in that. So like we want to eventually start doing like name drops and start to like crowd found companies. So Ciphers is sort of that early incubation of that.
Very cool. I wasn't aware that that was behind it and some of the consulting and whatnot as well. So very interesting to learn. And you mentioned you had a skater background. Was that right?
Yeah. Yep. No
okay.
Doubt. Kickflip, flipping 7 stairs. I can tray flip to this day. I don't mess around.
Very nice. Yeah. We had a couple comments on the Discord that you guys look like people would imagine you from the way that you talk and your voice.
Nice.
It's funny.
Go ahead.
Sometimes you have those experiences where you have like an image in your head from someone you've been, talking with on Discord for a year or something. And then when you finally see them or meet them, you're like, whoa, I had a totally different image. So it's cool to hear that we match our online likeness.
Yeah, I remember I used to have this crew that I gamed with when I was big, when I had time prior to, having my hand in several projects, right? But back in my younger days, I used to do a lot of MMOs and things like that. And there was this crew, we were tight or whatever. And finally we got on voice when the technology had evolved. And this person that was our fearless like leader and champion was like a 70-year-old man. I was like, what? At that point, I was like, I'm off voice for a while. It just ruined the experience for me. But now it's the inverse, right? But it does lend to some cool things. Like I made mention the other day about I spend so much time in the metaverse and in all these communities where you really learn people's personas by how they act and interact with visual, avatars and memes and it's more what they do and what they stand for that I really have a hard time recognizing things that were normal prejudices or biases. Like I really don't think in that paradigm anymore, right? Like in gender or race or anything. So I think it's very cool what this has provided with this platform, which is one thing I think is cool about your project also is, a lot of people that I know have participated from all walks of life. It's not just people that were always in hip hop or always traditionally you'd associate with it. A lot of people go there because of the community that you're creating and just the vibe and the openness and inclusivity of it. So props to you guys for kind of taking this to the next level and, continuing that trend that we had talked about where some of those traditional nuances of society are kind of, left to the wayside.
Yep.
It's a pretty incredible, freeing experience to be in the metaverse where you can be anything. You can represent yourself as, a hat or a shirt or a boombox on your head or, there's all these things. So race, creed, religion, sexual orientation, it's not even really ever coming up in my mind either. So it's interesting that you spoke to that because I think it is an important aspect to recognize and to embrace.
Yeah, so Mongoose mentioned that he envisions you guys with blunts and bottles in hands all the time, to be honest. So there you go.
I've got on my avatar, I've got a brick phone and a pirate hat, though at least. So it matches the punk too, because I can stop my cam. You can see my my eye patch yard, flex, of course, right?
Very cool. So you decided to go with this project that incorporated hip hop elements and allowing musicians to create their own music, and there's a lot of facets to it. I'll let you explain it when we talk more in depth about it. But why hip hop? Why was that kind of the focus of what you decided you'd like to do?
Yeah, I mean, the impetus really came out of trying to zero in on like the culture of hip hop and like ciphering, that the art of like just gathering in a circle, like fearless street poets just rapping and stuff. Like we just wanted to like just be able to capture lightning in a bottle of that, and so like that was really like the impetus. But we ultimately found in the business case and stuff that we made and why we're able to attract some investor attention is hip hop actually represents like a third of all streaming, as like by volume,
right?
With R&B included at least. And so it's really like the most discrete niche to really go after. So I think there's a major opportunity in that.
And I think the culture of hip hop has touched so many of us. I mean, some of my great memories are from in my teenage years, playing music with my friends, getting around ciphering, passing the mic, just having an incredible time. And some of the feedback we've gotten after these Cipher events in Discord is people saying, oh man, it feels like I just came from a show or from a buddy's house, freestyling like back in the day. And that's really kind of the feel that we're wanting and hoping to reproduce by having that kind of feel like you were just together with your homies, freestyling, flowing. And so we're able to kind of reach that. And I think it's only getting better as we kind of dial it in and get more people joining in. So it's just an incredible experience to be a part of.
Yeah, and if you think about the timing of it, not that there's any bright side to COVID hitting, but really people needed opportunities to try to socialize and have that experience of being in a collective and having a social environment that they could express themselves in and, socialize. And you guys have provided that. And I think that also aids to the inclusivity that we talked about, right? It's very welcoming. I've only been able to catch a couple of Cypher events, but when I did, I saw a lot of people stepping up to the mic that said, hey, this is my first time, or English is not my first language. And everybody just had a blast. It truly became like a party atmosphere. So the timing for launching definitely worked out pretty good.
Yeah, no doubt.
The gig economy.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say the gig economy took a big hit because of COVID too. So, although we have people that are first timers or hadn't rapped in 10 years or, are, consistently trying to improve their rap game and out there doing it, every musician pretty much across the board, and I come from a family of musicians, has been really hard hit by COVID because, there aren't really shows. You can't do that these days. Right. So hopefully we'll see that open up more. But for the last, year plus, it's really been pretty shut down for musicians.
Now, you mentioned you come from a family of musicians. What are you guys' musical influences, whether it's hip hop or not? I do want to hear what you listen to for hip hop and what the formative years were there, because I always find that interesting what the foundation is. But what were your musical influences that kind of drove you towards this project?
Yeah, there were a number, listening from everything from Tupac and Biggie back in the day, and just spanning, between that and a lot of old school, Eazy-E. But then, there's a bunch of artists that just like are just blowing up. Like you see, Run the Jewels and like the narrative they're able to start. I follow a lot of like rhyme sayers artists, Atmosphere obviously being the front man over there, and so some of that. And then I'm like a classic rock guy too. I listen to like plenty of Queen and like I've got a pretty cool vinyl collection, just everything from Tom Waits to like Tom Petty and The Who, and just all over the place really. But I got Rage Against the Machine on vinyl too, so I'm just like jamming out to that sometimes. So yeah, I'm all over the place, man.
Dope.
For me, I appreciate a wide range of music. I mean, literally from like folk and country to like hard hitting rap to like, Rage Against the Machine, definitely Chili Peppers. I went to a lot of shows in my youth from like, Grateful Dead to Black Flag, right? So there's a pretty big mix in there. But, for hip hop, I'm kind of old school. I'm like BDP, of course, Biggie and NWA and J5. And like, back in the day, I put in a lot of hours listening to different hip hop and rap for sure.
Right. Yeah. I'm with you guys. And I think that I always love to hear when there's an eclectic taste in people's music, because I've always had the philosophy, if it bangs, it bangs. It could be country. Not that I like a lot, but there are a couple of joints that be like, you know what, turn that up. That's a banger right there. So, eclectic taste is something I find frequently in people that are creatives. But if you look at my playlist on Spotify, it's like, I got hieroglyphics and Souls of Mischief all the way to Griselda, right? Like, I got to shut the door so my kid doesn't hear some of the stuff. So I'm with you on the wide span of influences there. So, you had talked about Eazy-E, and you had talked about a lot of the West Coast influences there as well. Kinshasa, are you a Cali person? Are you out there on the West Coast, or?
No, I'm in the Midwest here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Oh, okay. Well, that kind of shows the depth of your musical of tastings at the time, right? Because old school Easy wasn't really that widespread and that popular. So you were really in the crates a little bit.
Yup, no doubt, man. Yeah, I just loved raiding my brother's CD collection and stuff. It was some formative days for sure. Just kind of colors your worldview, like Easy was saying. Like, it's just so cool, like, see the different artistic approaches and the culture of different genres of music. And yeah, it's just it's cool to be able to like create in that space finally and just have a channel, this outlet that we're trying to create. It's kind of exciting.
Right. So let's talk about the Cypher project itself. For anyone that's not familiar, can you give them a synopsis on what exactly it is and what it's inclusive of?
Yeah, so it is a automagic beat maker that we built. So we call this Flowbot 5000. Shout out to Outkast, right? Andre 3000. And what basically it does is parses samples, stitches them together on the fly, and spits out unique beats that you rap over. And mint as collectible hip hop, as an NFT in limited editions. So it's kind of wild. Like, here's just like a track fresh out the bot. Some of them are real like chill, lo-fi.
But you know what? I think when this was input, now the audio is not there.
Yeah, I didn't hear the audio coming through. But what you do, like Kinshasa just was showing, that's where you generate your beats. You're able to generate up to 10 in a session that are kind of in the queue. So you could generate a full 10 and then review and see if one of them sparks your interest. Sometimes I'll be generating and I hit the third one and I'm like, oh man, that's banging. Like, gotta go to the next step. You hit rap, then a simple click of a button and you're flowing over the track, right? So you flow, over that track, you're able to review it. If you like it, cool. If not, you can just can it and record again. The next step is where we have this really cool, what we call spray GAN. So it's generative art based off of graffiti images. And so you're able to then choose out of a couple generated, basically like album covers, you choose one of those, and then you go on to the next step, one more button push, and you're into the create phase. So there's some samples of the spray GAN. So then at the last phase, you just input the title of your track, the number of editions, the price of those editions, the resale royalties. So 5, 10, 15%. And then you create it, and it's as simple as that. That is minting it onto the blockchain. So we do kind of a lazy minting. So that puts it up, but until somebody purchases it, it's not actually minted. It's similar to like OpenSea's lazy minting. So for now, while we're on mainnet, that gas onus is kind of on the buyer, but we're able to then basically zero barrier. You just need a computer and soon a phone to be able to have this little, automagic beat making studio in your pocket. So that was one of the main things, was try and open it up to anybody that has the passion to want to try and get on and make some NFTs of their flows, and basically you might be able to kind of kickstart your career. Or maybe you're a known rapper and you want to have a little side name just to play around with, and you use that over on Cypher and nobody even knows who you really are. I mean, we've had first timers, we've had people kind of coming back into the scene, and we've got people that are working on their game on the daily.
That's very cool. So these are AI generated?
So we're going to be training the beat patterns on with an AI model, but we need just more of the data set. So we're still building that out.
Okay.
It's the artwork that's using a machine learning like AI, like GAN. That's why we call it our spray GAN.
Right.
Spits out new graffiti. And so that's where we're currently implementing that technology though.
Let's see if this works now. If we try.
Yeah, I think I got the audio now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a big range, but then you go to the rap stage, like Easy was saying, and it plays it back for you, and you rap over that just to mute it for a sec because it goes for 30 seconds. But I don't know, unless Easy, you got something to spit and you want to throw out something. Yeah, I don't know if it'll get picked up too well, but this goes for 30 seconds, and like Easy was saying, like once you go past that, like we have this like sick record crate that you pluck your album art out of and just like animate it and stuff. I got to show you this.
Okay.
And so 30 seconds is the minimum amount to be able to record and go to the next step.
Boom.
And those beats, those are all preloaded or pre-created by you guys, or is that still the machine learning doing some different things?
So it's basically this tonal engine that our audio engineer, just this mad scientist kid, James Wenlock, built. And it essentially can create melody by like parsing up and like following the syntax he created to be able to like stitch them together from multiple pieces and just happen on the fly. But we do need to build out more genres and more of those patterns to be able to just still have like, because right now we have a lot of variety, but we're sort of building that manually until we get enough data to do the AI stuff.
Wow. So how many variations do you have now? Like I'm sure that's always updating. You're always having new beats into the system. What's it at now?
Well, right now we're actually going to be launching this as like this Genesis series. So we're going to sandbox it. We were thinking 333 sample tracks. That's what the arbitrary number that I put out. And basically we just want to kind of create some of that digital scarcity, that first batch, and it's kind of like a special way to kind of tell the story about it and how the technology was implemented, and constantly like improving those models though, and having almost seasons, if you will, of it. So that'll be kind of fun.
Very cool.
Yeah, we'll be adding new features that we're talking about and trying to build out. So this V1 Genesis launch will be working with a handful of the people that have already been participating and were safe listed early, and then we'll be opening up sort of tranches to bring more people on, making sure that everything's running smooth. And so we'll have this Genesis series launch of the 333 tracks that'll be available, and then we'll kind of push V2 where we're adding more features, which we have a bunch of ideas for remix and collaboration modes, and possibly adding in some produced beats from other artists that would be like a very rare track that maybe instead of getting one of these generated beats, you would get something from someone that maybe is a little more well known, and you'd be like, oh man, I just scored so and so's beat, and definitely going to keep that and rap over it. So there's interesting ways to sort of level up as you get more skin in the game, and then be able to have additional features.
Wow. So let me make sure I'm understanding this right. Someone that's participating in this could score a rare beat from producer X, and but then they're on the spot there. They have to try to actually use it then, or it could be gone, right?
Well, there's another idea of possibly kind of like beat mining, where you could, if you're finding dope beats, you might be able to then kind of pitch somebody else to flow over that as a collaboration. I mean, we have a lot of ideas that we're kind of honing in on to see what could be, the best things to put into this V2 as additional features. Kinshasa, you want to?
I'm so glad we're having this conversation because I really wasn't aware of all of these different features, from the gamification and to some of the other plans for it. I think a lot of people are very aware of what you do from a community perspective on your Discord, because that gets a lot of people hyped. We always have people falling back into ours afterwards, talking about it, talking smack or giving props usually. But this stuff is news to me, so very cool. So sorry to digress. I know you were trying to show me the next step in this.
Oh no, that's great. Yeah, I mean, it's just great to just explore all the edges and stuff. And yeah, like Easy said, we have the community too. We have an ideas and feedback channel on our Discord, and we've heard just really cool ideas. And it's going to be interesting to just keep synthesizing that information as we flesh out further more of what the product roadmap should look like. And yeah, there's just so many potential really fun avenues with this. So we're just so stoked to be able to kind of try and create this ecosystem, around it. But yeah, when you put in your song title, so you got, the blockchain beats, you can set it defaults to 11 editions, and you mint 1 to 51 that never existed that. So we kind of sandbox that in, and then you set your price, and we actually take a 10% cut and then retain one of those song tokens, since we just put it to 11. So it's like, all right, I got 10 to sell, and that much times 1.5 is what I might earn if it sells out. And so that gives us like this cash, though, like this piece of the action that we can kind of have as like almost part of like the bottom line. It's like this IP and music in a sense. So it's really just kind of a fun model. And then when it's a one of one, we just take a 15% cut. So that's quite a bit of revenue capture, though, for an artist, compared to the record label like industry is like the inverse of that, pretty much.
Right.
So we're really kind of like streamlining distribution of music in a sense. And I think projects are going to come along and start to kind of crack that. So it's just an interesting setup. And then so you can set your secondary sale royalties, though, you earn every time it resells in the secondary marketplace on platform. So between 5, 10, and then 15%. You just mint it.
Very cool. And so this is the randomly generated cover here?
Yep.
Wow, and that looks like someone was out there with the spray cans throwing up burners, right?
Yup.
Nice.
That's the idea, yeah.
Yeah, I saw a couple of guilty smirks there. I feel like you guys may have participated in that activity.
Not
maybe
too much
maybe
tagging, no, but
A little bit.
yeah, maybe or maybe not.
Graffiti is a large part of that cypher hip hop street art culture that we want to try and kind of imbue into the Cypher community and the apps. And as Kinshasa had mentioned, we have a feedback channel in our Discord, and we love to hear from people, because really we're trying to build this for the people that will be coming on and using it. Of course, we have a lot of fun doing it, and I'll be definitely dropping some Cypher tracks too, just because it's so fun. But yeah, it's this is hopefully gonna be able to sort of unleash a new demographic of like working hip hop artists and rappers, because you've got this big discrepancy of either A-list, where you need to have connections or money already to get into a studio and whatnot. You've got kind of people that maybe have partially made it, but it's very hard to break in, and you're getting, pennies for streams. Now, if you could come over to Cypher, and there's basically zero barrier to entry, and you can just create some beats. We basically create them for you. You just push the button, and these beats fly out of the bot, and you're able to then just flow over it, and then generate this cool artwork and put it up for sale. That could be a way for people to actually earn a little more of a real living from their passion, if they're passionate about flowing.
Yeah, you think about the cost involved. even just on a real basic level, from licensing or purchasing beats from a local guy. You're talking a few $100s, if not 5, 8, if they do some weird licensing kind of caveats. And then who knows what that's going to mean for NFTs, right? Soon they're going to figure out how they want to monetize that as well. Then studio time and everything else. And it looks like you guys have, at least you have the groundwork there for a distribution model. So you have a marketplace, correct?
Yeah. So when you go to the marketplace, you just get each of these, and like this Louis C one, so fun.
Louis, baby.
All right, let's let this one run so people can hear what can come from it.
Let's go. I'm known for rapping hard, not your average bars. Lighting up the metaverse and wrecking graphics cards. Cypher in the building, all you get is battle scars. And we ain't leaving in this bitch unless we get that avatar. I'm sick, bro, so tiptoe or get bit like Pitbull. That hit flow, your shit blows. I pop off like crypto, like goddamn. He not playing, he got game. Like Ray Allen on this motherfucking blockchain. A hot flame, a top name. Without me in the cypher, it's the Wild West without John Wayne. All aboard the Genesis, everybody sprung. Now it's looking like a party up in 721. Teleporting engineers, better bring the beers. We should make it a tradition, do it every single year. Put Louis on the microphone, everybody kinda stoned. Fire up the flow, brought whole spot might explode. Y'all already know though, I bomb it like a photo. I'm coming at that scream like a motherfucking rowboat. Y'all don't know me now, you should learn my name. I got that whole spot lit, now watch it burn the flames. It's Louis, baby.
Yeah. So fun, man.
Dope.
No, it was Louis C. Rhymes who came on as like a brand ambassador too, and it's just really representing. He's just got a great sense, of the space, and just has a great voice, and yeah, he's super fun to jam with on stuff. So yeah, that's his sick flow for the Avastars party that they had us out to, and just tore the place down.
Yeah. So was that part of the live stream event in your Discord that was recorded, or was this done specifically on the app?
This one was the one that he recorded. Yeah, was in the app.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, it sounds awesome.
Yeah, this one too. This guy did in the app that was just insane. Like, he just has such a cool story here. But I don't know if you want to play this one all the way through or not.
Just give us a little sample.
I put my mind with my muscle and I went back to the grind. I put my faith over fear, cause I ain't really got time. I done been at the bottom and it's been way too long. Visions coming through clear, my faith is getting real strong. What would be said that you got if I...
Yeah, so it's just fun to see people's, narrative that they bring, and it's just, it's epic.
Yeah, we've got, Louis baby wrote that one for the Avastar's birthday party, and he actually won a really dope Avastar that is now his profile pick, and he's using it in a couple of cool ways, so that people can just kind of watch out. There's going to be some cool Louis stuff coming soon. And he came onto Cypher as his first blockchain. That was his introduction. We walked him through setting up the MetaMask and everything, and he just fit right in. Just basically now he's a Cypher ambassador from the get-go. He just saw some value there, had a lot of fun with us, and kind of fell in love with the project.
Yeah, that's dope. I had seen the YouTube video as well. He was kind of strolling and I think talking about the project. How'd that relationship start? Did you guys reach out after hearing something that he had done, or did he reach out to you?
Yeah, I had reached out to him on Instagram. I believe is how we kind of struck up the conversation. And he's in pretty thick with some other rappers out there. This guy, I Am Zach G, I think he's actually like super talented as well. So he's bringing in, all sorts of people that are, really kind of at this level that is just, I think, just potent to see some traction. So yeah, so he's been really, really great and like active and just kind of helping us, get word out there and dial in, some of the nuances of the product,
That's dope. How has the reception been from, other musicians, aside from people that are just, into the NFT space that wanted to participate and try? I know you got Louis C. I saw that. I think Big Nuck was on one of your events, right, and performed. Yeah. How has the reception been from the traditional music industry?
Yeah, so it's been interesting. I've had talks with, some fairly high profile, folks, and it's just right now, we're trying to just ship this gamified thing, but then we're exploring, possibly doing drops, like primo drops, in just like a little bit more of an auction sort of standpoint. And so that could be a really fun way to kind of have people like level up to that and just capture a little bit more of the mainstream's ear. Because I think there's more to gain from being like a mid-level rapper to come up through Cypher. But if we had the nifty gateway of rap, sort of angle, that could really be interesting.
Yeah, exploring the drops is something that we're we're definitely very into, and then also having we can have kind of this week's promoted Cypher artists, and then maybe a drop comes through of somebody that we could collaborate with in some way that's maybe got already more more stuff out there, more clout in the space. So it'll be an interesting mix, hopefully, of different levels of where people are at in the kind of music industry end of things. And it's very interesting because you've got a lot of hype on NFTs and blockchain out there. So there's more interest now, I think, coming in from people that weren't knowledgeable about the blockchain before, but it's still definitely a barrier because it's not so easy to grasp and understand. It's not like just a quick conversation of, oh, this is what, the blockchain and NFTs are. It takes a little bit of, massaging for that understanding to sink in, I think, and then be able to okay, get your MetaMask wallet set up and all this stuff and come and then actually go through the experience with the app.
Right. And you alluded to the monetization factor and how it could change an artist's career path because they can be self-sustaining with just a few NFT sales versus needing, millions of streams to get a pittance from their split from, say, Spotify or whatever. So it's definitely worthwhile. But I'm sure you guys have heard me a couple of times mention the hype is real out there. I was on Clubhouse. I don't go on Clubhouse a lot because I really don't have the time to sit through the conversations, but I think I was driving to grab pizza for my family or something, and I popped into a DJ K Slay Q&A room, and within seconds they dragged me on stage because in the profile it says blockchain beats, whale, whatever, to which I had to decline because I'm trying to grab my Roni real quick and get some slices home. But everybody's looking at this, everybody's trying to get involved, and this is a way for people to get in early and participate. And it to me just seems very organic, genuine. The vibe of what you guys are doing is really about musicians that dig the atmosphere and what hip hop stands for and wanting to create. But on the back end, you also have all of these tools available to help monetize, help get exposure. You alluded to some gamification here with the marketplace, and it sounds like possibly, and Easy, I know you're involved in a lot of things, so the narrative of, how can platforms give voices to the lesser known artists by working and putting them alongside some of the more well-known. So there's a lot of great things I can envision you guys doing with this.
Yeah, we've been talking with some great musicians, producers, and rappers that are interested in doing some kind of collaborative stuff. So it's definitely exciting, and I think the gamification, definitely the monetary side should be a pretty good reason for people that are into hip hop that are out there. Maybe they have some songs on streaming platforms, but like you said, it's a pittance for thousands and thousands of streams or even 1 million streams. So there's the monetary aspect, there's the community support and just fun that we have, which is crazy. I mean, we have so much fun at these events, it's kind of ridiculous. And then you've got this collaborative aspect coming in, and then in the Discord right now, most people are at, they come in and you're a player, but we've got boss player. We've got a couple of these different levels that we will be, talking more about in the near future, where the more kind of skin in the game you have, the higher up you move in that as well. So then you get these other unlocks, and those could be both in the Discord as well as in the app with features that, we were talking about with special beat drops. Maybe you're able to upload a longer track or a mastered track, or you get, more effects in the app, or maybe you can have some kind of additional artwork. There's a lot of things that we're throwing around and working on, kind of what is going to be prioritized in the V2.
Very cool. The marketplace, so the marketplace in the app, is it in beta right now, or is this live? Anyone could go in and use it and mint and whatnot?
Yeah, so right now we are still on Robston, but we did deploy our smart contract last weekend. So we're actually ready to just flip the switch and be able to purchase on there after you connect your wallet like this. So we're just working out Some of the profile picture stuff we just got implemented, so you can go in and change your username and stuff like that. So we've got, just a lot of crazy wrinkles to it, but we finally got it like ironed out. But the beat maker though, we're still patching like a latency issue that we've been having with the vocal syncing up. So we're just like so close to finishing that and then having it like officially drop here in a matter of like a week and a half, we're thinking.
Yeah,
Very
it's
cool.
it's very close. We're super excited, and yeah, we do. Our devs have been smashing that latency issue. It's something that's an issue on Windows and with some other apps too. So it's not necessarily like a bug just in Cypher. So we're getting workarounds for that, and we're very close to launching mainnet and dropping the beta.
Awesome. Let me know when that opens up, because we got some people in the whale community that think they can do a little something. So I'm sure we'll send them over there and make sure we're represented.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. And we do ciphers sometimes. Like we went over and did the Avastar's 420 birthday party and did a cipher in their Discord. So I'm sure a little down the line, if the whale community wants to have us over and do a live cipher event in the whale Discord, that could be something to work towards too.
Definitely. And it's going to be a one-on-one, me versus DC, for one of the highlight events.
Oh yeah.
I got to make him throw up mom's spaghetti over there. So you alluded to some of the long-term, vision things you have for the project and some different features that are coming down the line. One of the questions I saw mentioned, which was a good one, is this going to have more features to become more of a workstation where people can add effects and things of that nature?
Yeah, so we're actually potentially going to be shipping with effects that you can put on the track itself, and then even like auto tune and stuff isn't too far down the road. So we're going to actually be having a timeline, so you can like have a visualizer of the music, but it's not going to be as robust as like a DAW. It's not a garage band, but we are going to be kind of exploring like a pro mode that does give you more control over that though.
That's very cool. I saw that who was it? Jim Jones had launched a service he was trying to provide for people that were at home and quarantine and whatnot. I think it was called Quarantine Studios or something like that. But it was gated, and it was, you had to pay a fee and whatnot to be able to participate. And this is a very democratic process here, right? Like you if you got some fire and want to step up, you can do it. And, you could do it because you enjoy it, or you could try to monetize it and make something of it and try to, fund more of your artistic endeavors. So I think that's very cool that you're providing this for people that just want to use it and not just a gated service, because looking at all the features of what it can do, it certainly warrants it and could.
Yeah, totally. I think it's to me like democratizing music production and like distribution in a way that I think is going to be really like grassroots and organic. And yeah, it's so cool seeing the community start to coalesce around the parties and stuff that we have. And it's been a trip for sure. I'm just so glad that we're finally this close,
Yeah, I wish there was some AI beat generator when I was a teenager. My mother wouldn't have yelled at me for the noise I was making with the MPC. I had to return that epic fail of mine. Well, let's talk about the community a little bit, if you don't mind. Awesome stuff's always happening. You guys have so much excitement around your activities and when you throw events. Can you talk to us a little bit about, what it is you do and what kind of frequency and what goes on there?
Yeah, absolutely. So we, the first, cipher that we had held in our Discord, we did kind of in conjunction with this Crypto Voxels, this metaverse party, and we just had an absolute riot and had a live Twitch stream of Big Nut rapping. So like the live performance like element of it and just the immersiveness. Oh, there's Easy. He's got all the wearables. So it goes down in Discord in the voice channel, and we pump in some of our beats that we had just uploaded to YouTube to be able to pipe in. And that's where we did just these epic parties where we just can throw on an artist stream. We've had live DJs in here. So it's just super cool to boogie down in this whole new immersive way. So it's just so neat seeing VR and blockchain, these kind of converging technologies, create something sort of greater than the sum of its parts. But we do them in Thursdays in the Token Smart Discord. So that one is what, 3 p.m. PST to easy?
3 p.m. Yeah, we go 3 to about 4:30 Pacific in the Token Smart Discord. So that's a little after the whip happens. And then for Sunday ciphers, which is over in the Cipher Discord, those start at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 Eastern, and they're a longer session. So we don't have like a show coming up behind us, and we're able to be a little more free flowing. I mean, the last one was like 3 hours. And we generally, we often actually have a guest. So we'll have a guest speaker for maybe 10 or 15 minutes, generally someone maybe that's been in the blockchain music space, so they can share a little bit of their journey and background and kind of how they found Cypher. And then we'll generally have a sign up sheet. So you can sign up early or just sign up live when you get to the event. Everybody gets a chance that wants to get on the mic, any language, there's no restrictions. So we've had like Hindi, Spanish, English, some like Swahili, I think. We've had like 4 or 5 different languages used in some of the ciphers lives. And so we throw down the tracks out of the Flowbot. People are able to flow over them on, by themselves. They get a go. Everybody gets a go. And then we do have usually 0.1 ETH goes to the top flow. And then we've got like 3 or 4 whale to the second and third and fourth, so we've got a couple prizes there. Everybody that gets on the mic gets some tips, as well as everybody that shows up. We got POAPs now. And then after we do kind of the rap battle session, we throw on some super long, like, stitched together 8-minute tracks from the Flowbot. And then we do a round robin and we pass the mic, and that is where it just goes crazy. And we have so much fun. People are feeding off each other. Sometimes there's GIFs or words in the chat that will be like the cue to rap off of. And it's just a absolutely ridiculously fun time.
I would imagine there's drinks flowing and, and there's a little bit of cloudiness in the air as well at the end of 3 hours of a cipher, I'm sure.
Definitely.
So when I went in there, I think I caught Sandy Meows once. I caught Achatanga going with some rapid fire stuff that surprised me. What are some cool moments that have happened? Because I know you've had a bunch. Can you highlight a couple of really cool moments that happened at some of your events?
Yeah, there was this one that stuck out at me when this guy, Saxman, he spit a rap and then broke out a saxophone and started playing some like interlude and stuff between it. That just struck me as like super creative and funny, and he had a great flow too. There's another, I think, that jumps out at me when we've had like sort of like this popcorn rap, like this back and forth that you've seen, and you see Space Painter get on and sort of do like backup vocals and stuff for people and kind of get a hook in there. So yeah, it's just been really fun seeing just those little gems crop up. And this last cipher was incredible. Like, I mean, easy. Some of those flows we heard.
The talent coming in. There's some real talent coming in for sure. I mean, not that there wasn't even at the first ones, but now it's like people are hearing about it a little. And so we've got people that do have, pretty decent rap skills coming in, jumping on, and then feeding off each other with the back and forths. It's pretty awesome. There was another, the Saxman one was great because, yeah, he was like flowing, played a little on his sax, and then like finished it up with a few more bars. We had someone playing some cool guitar riffs the other day. Space Painter does his cool like flute and drums and backup vocals. And another highlight was when Space Painter did the ETH cookie rap, which is, was kind of a long time coming. The seed was sprouted there. I think it was the first time he did an interview over on Token Smart, and he has the voice mod. And so I think it was Sandy maybe was like, oh, it's the Cookie Monster. And that led to this joke about how he should do a song. And then, a year later, Cypher happens to be coming out, and he just finished a project, and we wound up, DMing on the day where he had finished this other drop. And so he came over and then, made this awesome ETH cookie rap that is going to be up on Marketplace when we launch.
Very cool. Yeah, I think I caught some people with instruments. I've caught people with vocoders. So all kinds of stuff happening over there. It's definitely a party, that's for sure. So if anyone wants to get involved and wants to be part of this, and first of all, if they want to take part in the ciphers, how can they best do that?
Yeah, so go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, come join the Discord, but Kinshasa, you take it because there's other ways to do it.
Come join the Discord. Our website is cipher.media. And there is an application link too. So we really just love just to welcome folks to apply. We've got it at the footer actually down there. But yeah, jumping in Discord is a great way to just also get up to speed with crypto. So I would just implore people, like if crypto or if hip hop can be your gateway into this great, like, empowering space, we want to definitely help take the time to onboard those folks and just like with Louis C. Rhymes, just open his mind up to the metaverse and what's possible out there and stuff. So and so we've got all our socials there too on CIPHER.media.
Yeah, of course, the DMs, my Twitter personal DMs are always open. If you've got questions or you want to get involved and maybe you're not on Discord yet, hit me a DM in Twitter or for the Cypher or over on Insta. So we've got all those lines open for people to reach out to us. We've done a couple little clubhouse rooms, hip hop on the blockchain and stuff, and we may try and fire up some more of those. Clubhouse is a really interesting spot. I haven't been over there as much lately because I'm so busy, but I did put in a good amount of time at the beginning of the year over there and made some great relationships, and I've been in some very interesting rooms there as well.
Very cool. How about the app itself? If people just want to stay abreast of like when it's going to go live or the new changes that are coming, where can they best follow that?
Yeah, so we give a lot of announcements there on Twitter, as well as the Discord, which is just where we've just kind of had like the air traffic control center, and the hip hop community though is more on Instagram. So we've been trying to kind of cross that bridge, but yeah, definitely stay tuned to the announcements channel in Cypher Discord, and yeah, if you're not following us on Twitter, it's at Cypher_ETH, and we just love kind of interacting with folks. So we're an open book, and easy is just great to kind of walk people through so much of what it could otherwise kind of be a confusing space.
Definitely. What would you say to people that are interested but may feel a little apprehensive about getting on the mic and kind of making themselves vulnerable like that?
Yeah, easy. Go ahead.
Yeah, I would say, if you're thinking about it, but you're not sure, just come and hang out for a Cypher or two. You're going to see that it's such a warm, opening community with very, no judgment is happening there as to your skill level of rapping or anything. We've had plenty of people hop on for the first time. And maybe they discover a talent for rapping that they didn't even know they have. Shout out to Achatanga, who got on for the first time at one of the Cyphers and killed it. He had never rapped before. Other people might get up and try and maybe they say, okay, that's all I have, and we just stop the track and thank them very much for coming, and encourage them to keep hanging out. And there's no pressure to get on the mic, but if you want to try it, we're there to support you. You could also reach out, maybe you want to try rhyming over some of the beats without a big crowd. We often throw up little just pop-up impromptu sessions over in Louis C. Lane. Sometimes we'll just pop up and it'll be 4 or 5 people hanging out, just talking about stuff. We'll throw on some beats, maybe do some raps. You can get pointers from other people. So it's really a very open community. It's for the people. So I would just say come over, kind of hang out, get a feel for the vibe, and just reach out in a DM if you've got questions or you're feeling apprehensive. And if you get comfortable with it, then that's a great opportunity to try jumping on the mic and having some fun.
That sounded great. I might have to show up over there. I think you said people might show up in a burner. You don't even know who it is. I'm gonna have to make my grand appearance soon.
Nice.
If I haven't already been there, who knows? You had alluded to the roadmap as well, that something was coming on timelines. Do you have any next milestone you'd like to highlight or make people be on the watch for?
Yeah, we're really doubling down on the mobile app. So we have it's a wallet, literally the crypto wallet that we're wrapping this beat maker around and allowing you to just spit right in your phone with headphones. And so that's going to just be really cool for reducing the barriers even further, for getting more people to spit, just come out and tell your story. So yeah, we're really stoked for that here in this quarter. So we're thinking here by mid-July we're going to have that out, if not sooner though.
Oh, awesome. On Apple as well?
Yep, we're actually starting with iOS and then kind of backing into Android, but
Smart.
it should come on the heels of that though.
Yeah, that can be
Yeah.
big. That can be a bear.
Yeah, it's definitely it's a Herculean effort, but we've got the killer squad to do it. So
I just imagine, once we launch the mobile app, you'll see people just like walking down the street, just like rapping into their phone. That's when Cypher's gone on mobile.
Right. Instead of now people just pull up next to me at a stoplight and are like, what's this guy doing, right? Any audio you guys would love to highlight before we take everyone out to just kind of showcase some of the cool stuff you're doing, whether it's beats or something that someone has recorded?
yeah, absolutely. We have just some really cool beats that came out of the bot pretty recently. I love just this. This stand is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, give me a break. That's not that bad for a bot.
Yeah.
That's
Keep in mind,
cool about
this
it.
is a bot putting these together, taking the samples and the beats and
Cypher bound to come up. We're gonna roll up every other day. We put the guns up. And when they come out in the sun, we have a little bit of fun. When we're seeing out in the podcast, we rock that. We just like to have a good time. Let's fit that. Yo.
yeah.
I had to just try and spit something.
Nice. Off the top, I love it. I know Easy's mad you shut it off. He was like, well, I was about to hop in there.
Easy about to
No,
spit.
throw up another track maybe. We'll see.
Yeah,
we get a lot of just off the top stuff going down, and of course people sometimes will bring something prepared, and that's fine too. You can, we've thought about like BYOB, like bring your own beats events and stuff. So we're going to be expanding on what we do at the events. We're just right now kind of trying to dial in the format and really just get the work done so that we can launch the app and then follow that with the mobile.
Easy. I just play a little bit of this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
Chilling with. Oh, it's a bad flow. It's all good though.
Oh my god! Why do I keep doing this?
Oh man, that whole vibe is mad. We gotta restart it or go to a new one now.
Right.
Yeah, throw me up a new one just so it's something fresh. We'll see if it sparks something. I literally don't know what's gonna come out my mouth. Chilling with Nytmare and bam. I heard it cut out, but then I'm like, bam. Don't know what's up with the Wi-Fi connection. Something is happening. Breaking my in.
Oh man, that connection, kill it.
Yeah, that was just cutting in and out. But
nah, that's glitch hop.
That's
glitch hop right there.
Remixing the glitch hop.
Dope. You know what I really love about it is that you can see the authenticity and the excitement, and even I'm geeking out, right? I'm just having fun, chilling, talking about this. But the tech behind it and the thought process on where it's going is so progressive and well thought out from every angle. So props to you guys for being able to be so strong on both ends, as far as really the fundamentals from a technological standpoint and the project as far as giving it legs, and also keeping it so genuine and real, right? Like hip hop is a good barometer. If you're fake, you will not last, right? You'll get sussed out quick. So definitely props to you guys for putting this together. It is an amazing project, and I'm sure along with the rest of the whale community, you guys are getting me tongue tied. I'm so hyped from the freestyle. I had to hold myself back. I can't make my debut just yet. I can't do it. I gotta stretch. I'm a little old. I gotta loosen up. Okay. But I'm so excited. I'm sure everyone else is so excited to see where this goes. So thank you so much for spending some time with us today and sharing more details on the project with us.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having us. This has been great.
Yeah, I just, huge shout out to the Whale fam, strong community, strong coin. since Maiden Voyage, you know, I've been a part of this. I miss you guys because I got so busy. I haven't been able to come and hang out as much as I used to. But such an you know, inspiring community of artists and collectors and curators and musicians, and just the passion is here. So, you know, big, like, you know, open arm welcome to anyone in the Whale fam to come on over to CIPHER, and, you know, looking forward to all that we can do together.
Definitely. And one thing I'd like to do, and you talked about the Genesis drop, and it sounds like you're going to curate with some of the early adopters that were in there and bring in some heat. So when you get that project together, would love to have you guys back along with the highlighted artists from that drop and really talk about each of them and their journey and, you know, how the platforms help them, and just listen to some heat. Let's drop some heat rocks on the Whale community and start the spread here.
I love that, man. That sounds epic. Love it.
Sounds incredible.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. You guys have a great day.
Yeah, you too. Take care.
Peace. Thanks.